Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to our channel, and thanks for logging on. Today, we're discussing the new Navy. Nope, it's not a recruiting pitch for my former branch of the Armed Forces. In fact, it is the new image of the 42mm themed Navy design in the Audemars Piguet Royal Oak Offshore lineup, technically referenced 26470ST. You can see this automatic chronograph from the Royal Oak Offshore collection of 2015 to present on our website. Purchase it there and subscribe to this channel if you enjoy these videos. You can also click on the card in the upper right hand corner of the screen at any time during this video. See our full sales listing for this watch with additional accessories included in the sale, high resolution images for your desktop, and naturally complete pricing details for this Audemars Piguet Royal Oak Offshore, nicknamed Navy. Now, the watch on my wrist is the 42mm Offshore. Even as the model has evolved since 1993, the essential proportions, styling features, and yes, the fit have remained consistent. The watch is 42mm across the round of the case, not including chronograph pushers, crown, or crown guards. It's thick, but perhaps not as thick as you anticipated. At 14.6mm, this is a watch you shouldn't have any difficulty stuffing under the cuff of a suit jacket. It will wear well with formal attire. From lug to lug, it really begins to stretch out, as Royal Oaks and Royal Oak Offshores alike tend to wear a bit larger than their nominal size. At 54mm lug to lug across the wrist, you can see why. But if you were to include these strap plots, which are these intermediate links that join the strap to the case, you see how it flares? Measuring the outer to outer dimension from the outside of one plot to the outside of the other, you get a 58.5mm measurement across the wrist. So take note, the watch wears more like a 44. Now, the watch does wear comfortably, however, because this is a best-case scenario for those like me who have smaller wrists. My 16cm circumference wrist is liking this vulcanized rubber navy blue Audemars Piguet diver-style strap. This is something that was originally an option with the Vempa and the Scuba divers of the 2000s, and over time, Royal Oak Offshore Chronograph owners began to order it. And as they ordered more and more of them, people realized it was a better match for the watch in terms of fit and feel than the massive and stiff hornback style alligator leather straps that proliferated in the late 2000s. So AP smartly launching this model on this strap and making it an option across the range for 2015. Very comfortable. You can see a small and mostly symbolic AP inscribed pin buckle for on-the-fly adjustments, sports watch style, but no deployant here. You will note, however, that AP has not pinched any pennies with respect to the manner of fixing the strap to the case. It still screws. This is the way it should be for an expensive heavy sports watch or an expensive and heavy dress watch. It's simply more secure than spring bars. So what if it takes a few more moments to swap straps? The bottom line is you won't have to worry about losing your watch at an inopportune moment. Absolute security. Now, the other thing about the Offshores is that you're not losing anything vis-a-vis a standard Royal Oak in terms of finish. They're both artisanally crafted. Everything you see that looks like it was satin finished by hand or polished using manual process, in fact was. By using manual tools and specialized milling equipment, the artisans of Les Brassus create these tapering, polished hairline bevels that actually swell as they approach the terminus of the lug and then shrink as they approach the mid-case. You'll also note that the watch features that handsome, fully expressed bezel gasket that's become a structural component and an integral member of the styling on the Offshore. On the original Gerald Gente Royal Oak, it was basically a hairline sliver of black that you could hardly see. Here, fully expressed. The watch does have a distinct machine aesthetic, and nowhere is that more evident than in the bezel. Still octagonal with countersunk bezel bolts like the original Royal Oak, but here they are stainless steel rather than white gold. As you can see, they're also quite a good bit larger, but you have that gorgeous contrast between the polish of the bolt, the polish of the flank, the rounded flank of the bezel, and the satin finish of the top. Now, the dial is handsome. It's evolved a bit since the original Navy. A few extra splashes of color in the form of shocks of orange make it easier to read some of the sub-registers as well as chronograph seconds at center. There's a mega tapisserie cut to the dial itself, which is a large raised hobnail and a semi-gloss finish. All of the numerals are applied white gold, fully luminescent, as are the baton hands at center, and you'll note that the date disc in this generation uses a monotone matching navy blue that is perfectly keyed to the dial, so there isn't an awkward contrast. Still a sunken date, still a modular complication, more on that in a moment. Now the crown guards for 2015 were reprofiled, and the crown shoulder as well as the pushers were converted from a polymer to ceramic, which you can see is nicely executed right down to the point of the beautiful polished bevel that runs the circumference of the head of each pusher. The attention to detail is superb, and it's not easy to work such subtle details in ceramic, a very hard material that tends to fracture. Now when you turn the watch over, this is another advantage of the latest generation of 42mm Royal Oak Offshore. You can finally see the AP in-house caliber. This is caliber 3126. It is a base movement with a Dubois de Praz vertical clutch chronograph module on top. 50-hour power reserve. You can see it has a full balance bridge and it's free sprung, the two features in combination making this both an accurate watch and a very shock resistant architecture. Now it features bidirectional winding because Audemars Piguet didn't like the freewheeling rotor wobble or zing of unidirectional winding. It can be a little unrefined, though efficient. Audemars Piguet opts for a 22-karat gold mass inscribed with the coats of arms of the Audemars and the Piguet family, and beautifully cut with ceramic bearings to help recoup some of the efficiency lost in the conversion to bidirectional winding rather than unidirectional, which is common in the industry. So you get the efficiency of ceramic rotor bearings and the smoothness of bidirectional winding. Now you'll note when I withdraw the crown, this 59 joule 365 piece movement does feature hacking or stop seconds for precise synchronization to a reference time. And let's just make sure our watch is out of the danger zone before I engage the quick set function for the date. But yes, it does in fact feature a quick set date mechanism for rapidly cycling should you need to correct the watch. It also features 100-meter water resistance thanks to a screw-down crown, and thanks to the diver-style strap, you won't have to worry about soaking your leather when you jump into the water with abandon, whether you're vacationing in warm climes this winter or preparing for your summer fling. This is a full-service sports watch for all aquatic activities short of professional diving, and beneath that beautiful engraved rotor, you can see the level of finish here, everything from the polished screw heads to the richly textured Côte de Genève to the tight engine turning on the base plate is immaculately executed. Though the Royal Oak Offshore has long been called a brute, make no mistake, it is a beautiful brute. See it and find out on our website.